It's, you know what? The moral of the story is no matter what, no matter how much of a con artist that you want to be, you will never be one step ahead of the OG frauds in this country, insurance companies. When it comes to conservative movements, it's always filled with people not looking to actually make the world a better place by their own standards. It's always filled with people who are looking to make money. A lot of these types of movements fall apart. And something interesting is that I would like to take you way back to the year of 2020. Okay? Where conservatives were talking all about widespread vandalism and crimes of the left that they were committing against normal, God-fearing American conservatives. And one of those people who talked about it was actually, well, two of those people who talked about it were actually Laura Ingraham and Ben Shapiro. All right. I would like to show you something really quick. All right. This is back in the day where Ben actually went on to Fox News. I would like you to take a look at this really quick.
People who are behind him are not looking for anything gradual. They see him as an obstacle to change, or at the best, maybe some sort of facade that they can push aside when the time is right. And he's made a bargain with the radicals in his own party, and they're going to eat him up.
There's a story out of Minnesota that began to get some traction today, and it was very disturbing.
Very disturbing.
And this was
very scary.
Homeowners who woke up to find that their garage basically was on fire, had been burned down. They had a Trump flag or poster up, and had been burned. And then Biden 2020 graffiti and the Antifa symbol.
Oh my gosh. Biden 2020 BLM Antifa super soldiers came to destroy this man's American flag and his garage. I can't believe this. Actual anarcho Bidenists were there. Circle A, that is Antifa. That's the Antifa symbol. We all know about this. It's so scary. I can't believe this was happening. Trump supporters targeted.
And this is Minnesota nice. There's a message being sent, Ben, by the far left, and I think people are beginning to see that arsonist behavior, looting, even murder, none of it's off the table.
Well, the fact is, again, generic statements about violence and looting being bad are not going to cut it. We all know that if this were right-wingers who were performing this kind of violence, Joe Biden would be out there on the front line.
So true. And I think this is horrible. I hate people being targeted. The only problem is that it wasn't true. Trump supporter recently pled guilty to vandalizing his own garage for profit. So this thing that Fox News, Ben Shapiro, Laura Ingraham all touted as this horrible thing to happen to conservatives, that they were being attacked, targeted, that they weren't even safe in their own homes because being BLM, Antifa, anarchist, Marxist, Leninist super soldier Bidenists were going to completely obliterate them and silence everybody who had any dissent. I can't believe this could have been happening, that this was all a ruse, that this was all not real. And so you may be wondering, how did they find this out? So basically what happened is that not only is this ridiculous, just on the face, this is ridiculous that Biden 2020, BLM, and Antifa, or anarchists, because this is really more of like an anarchist symbol than anything else, would all be working together to vandalize this guy's garage. Made no sense to anybody with more than 3 brain cells. And it seemed like the police of Minnesota, thought the same thing. And so they looked into it. And what they found out is that there was actually footage of what was going on. There was actually footage of this person that they say was attacking this home. And it turned out that it wasn't anybody who they would expect to be from BLM Antifa. They found out after they looked at the security footage that night of when the burning and everything was happening, that the guy in the security cam footage, it looks just like the guy who told us his garage got burned down. He seemed like he's about the same height. He's white. And he was wearing a black hoodie. But unfortunately for him, his face wasn't completely obstructed. And so they put 2 and 2 together and found out that he was lying about the entire thing. Let's read a little bit about this. Minnesota man pleaded guilty to wire fraud after he tried to set up a hoax, which he claimed people had spray painted left-wing messages on his garage, including Biden 2020, an anarchy symbol, and BLM, and set fire to several vehicles, according to a press release by the Justice Department. It's not legal to spray paint your own property, but the man received about $61,000 from his insurance company and about $17,000 from a GoFundMe fundraiser. This really reminds me of, do you guys remember when the venture capitalists and those other people, those like pro-Trump people, were all trying to set up a GoFundMe
This meme is
to build the border wall, but without the government? But without the government's help, they're gonna build like the citizen border wall. Remember that? And then they got like $1 million from like dopey conservatives, and then they just ran off with it, and then just poof, vanished, disappeared like a magic trick in Vegas. It kind of reminds me of this. They just get their money stolen all the time. Yeah, the People's Wall. It's the People's Wall. It all started in September 23rd, 2020, when 30-year-old man Dennis Mola made a false report to police that his home had been vandalized. Mola told police that he saw 3 unknown men standing outside of his home when he heard the explosion. He also told police that he came outside to find BLM and other messages spray painted on his garage, and his camper van had been set on fire, apparently because he had a Trump 2020 flag affixed to it. The bullshit story was picked up by outlets like Fox News, and host Laura Ingraham and far-right influencer Ben Shapiro talked about it. As we saw, the story was covered extensively by local news as well, with Dennis Mola's wife, Deanna Mola, appearing at his side during interviews, asking why someone would target them for their political beliefs. These people knew that we had children, Deanna Mola said, as footage played of the fire damaged playground equipment in the yard, and they were still okay with this. Mola was not named in the initial incident. It was not clear if she knew about her husband's scheme. It all could have ended right there, with a nationally recognized news story about left-wing crazies and their intolerance of political differences. But apparently, Dennis Mola had different motives for the hoax. Mola submitted insurance claims for his garage, camper, trucks, and his house, totaling roughly $300,000. Amazingly, Mola had the audacity to question his insurance company's denial of some of the claims despite their fraudulent nature. When Mola's insurance company denied some of those claims, Mola submitted a written complaint to the insurance company claiming that it was defrauding him and threatened to report the company to the DOC, the Department of Commerce, and the Attorney General, the DOJ said. Mola also pocketed $17,000 from his GoFundMe called Patriots for Mola. Bro, these guys, a fool and their money are easily separated. Easily separated. Oh my goodness. You can't defraud my fraud. You can't get at it's, you know what? The moral of the story is no matter what, no matter how much of a con artist that you want to be, you will never be one step ahead of the OG frauds in this country. Insurance companies. you think, oh baby, boy, they invented fraud. Who do you think you are? They wrote the book on fraud. Incredible. This entire man's fraud plans was stopped by insurance companies. Yo, bro, they won't pay out to children with leukemia. You think that you'll get money out of them? Hilarious. That's why you knew the plan would never work out, because it always hinged on him getting money from his insurance company. Like that would ever happen, bro. As if. That's why he started the GoFundMe. He knew he wasn't gonna get that money. Yeah, Moolah for Molas. You hate to see it. Where he documented his property losses and thanked the numerous donors. There are plenty of people who found the whole thing suspicious. From online outlets, people started to question why anybody would spray an anarchy symbol. It's unlikely. Anybody who sprayed an anarchy symbol would be unlikely to support Biden. But who cares? It's not like conservatives know whatever the hell's going on.
This meme is
But there were
real.
other things skeptics picked on, such as the claim early on that one of the family surveillance cameras was just blocked just before the explosion. Real. Huh? Don't you think that's incredibly curious? Man, right before the explosion, just a moment before the explosion happened, one of the security cameras got blocked. Huh. Man, how convenient. Who could have seen this coming? Our internet instantly stopped working in that very moment. Mueller's story was a little too perfect of a ploy for sympathy. And someone CBS said the family also were able to save up for 4 puppies. And sorry, we're able to save 4 puppies from the smoke-filled garage. Okay, buddy. All right. So not only are you just like, not only were your kids targeted, but also you were able to save 4 puppies, a damsel in distress. You were able to help a grandma across the street, and also save a cat from a tree. All during the smoke-filled explosion. Also, the camera was out. Oh man, who could? Man, they were trying to milk this for all they got, and all the puppies clapped. And all the 3, they were saving 4 disabled, autistic, puppies. The disabled isn't the autism. They all had 3 legs. They all had 3 legs cut off by the Antifa BLM anarchists. But they were still able to cauterize the wound with the fire coming off of the truck. I can't believe they were able to do this. And everyone clapped. Mola faces up to 20 years in prison and a maximum fine of $250,000. It will be sentenced at a later date. Dude. I'm not gonna lie. This is just too funny, okay? So here's the thing. Here's the massive victim complex when it comes to this, okay? We talk about this all the time. What's the moral of the story here, okay? The moral of the story is a lot of conservatives love to be the victim. It's their favorite thing in the world, all right? When equality comes to the people who are accustomed to supremacy, it will feel like oppression. That's just the way that the world works, okay? These people will always try to make themselves out to be the victim, even though they're the ones doing the oppression. And they'll always be hampered by people who are... And the ship of a conservative will always be filled with rats looking to jump off at the sign of any danger to be able to save their own ass. Here, listen, okay? It's no different than Donald Trump's campaign. You know how every single excuse for Donald Trump's campaign falling apart was that, oh, everybody's against me. Everybody was coming for me. I had no clue what was going on. And how every single time something went awry and every single time like things just kind of fell apart. When it came to him trying to get done what he wanted to get done, it was somebody in his way, and nobody knew his like real vision. But then it actually came out to be like the people who were in his way were the people he put in there in the first place, because they were going to be the ones that were going to help him overcome the deep state swamp. They were going to help him drain the swamp. But in all actuality, it seems like he filled the swamp with the biggest swamp monsters. But hey, listen, it's not his fault. How could he know? He's too stupid to find out. Come on, man. What are you talking about? These people will always be the victims. It's no different than back in 2020 when remember when they tried to pin that one security guard's murder on BLM, but it was actually Boogaloo freaks who later painted a car in their own blood, who were looking to try to start a race war as they were trying to escape the police. It's wild how it works out. They never actually are able to get their own. They're never actually oppressed, so they have to invent it. They have to live in their own world. It's just always funny when their fake reality comes crashing down to the real world. It's always funny to see the bubble pop. It's weird though. It's very strange. Huh? Oh, you guys never saw this? You hate to see it? Let me show you. Yo, your streamers never told you about this story? Your streamers never told you about this story? Really? What? This was an incredible story. How could they do this to you? How could you have been like deprived of such an incredible story? So, you're my streamer. It's your fault. I talk about this story all the time. If you didn't hear it, you weren't listening. I became unreasonable. Bloody message scrawled over a car at Ben Lamond ambush. So let me show you, okay? The aftermath of the Air Force sergeant arrest and the fatal attack on sheriff and deputies in Ben Lamond. So it was revealed that he is believed to have left a bloody message on a car. Stephen Carrillo, 32, has been charged with 19 felonies, including murder. Listen, they're racking it up. He was like, we got to bump those numbers up on a Sunday ambush, according to a 14-page indictment in the Superior Court of Santa Cruz. Before he was arrested in Ben Lamond, Carrillo scrawled the word boog and phrases, I became unreasonable and stop the duopoly in blood on the hood of a car, NBC News and other media have reported. So yes, This is real. It is the larpiest shit I've heard in my entire life. Write your message in blood and flee. Run, scurry. Get the message out before they come for you. I became unreasonable. Yeah, this man is quite unreasonable. Yes, you are unreasonable. You're deranged. The Joker movie. The Joker movie and its consequences. Scurry. I became unreasonable is a Boogaloo meme. It came from the Killdozer. You know, stop the duopoly, referring to the dominance of the Republican and Democrat parties. But yeah, so this actually happened. It is true. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this is one of the guys. Do you remember that? These may be different guys. There are two Boogaloo plots that I remember, two big Boogaloo plots outside of like the capture and murder of Gretchen Whitmer during 2020 that I remember. It was Boogaloo boys who were camping outside of BLM protest, looking to cause discord to try to spark a race war. And then there was that guy. Remember that big story about like, oh, the security guard who was murdered by BLM Antifa crazies, but they were actually killed by Boogaloo too. There were two big. Those were those two big Boogaloo plots. I don't remember if this guy was a part of the like sit in a tent with guns to try to see if you can cause a ruckus, or the guys who killed the security guard to cause a race war. I don't remember which one this guy was a part of, but I knew he was a part of one of them. Once you realize you live in a society, you never look back. I can't take you seriously when you say Boogaloo. They are Boogaloo boys. They be boogin'. They out there boogin'. You can't. This is not a joke. This is not a meme. They be boogalooing.
This meme is very real.
These people are dangerous, bro. Don't laugh. These people are scary. Okay? And on top of this, there have been more plots, and there have been more plots and many plots out there still that are yet to be uncovered. How many more of these supposed vandalism plots are going to be proven to be completely false by the right? I'm not sure, but there are many. And recently, one of the newest ones has been this, all right? The eat shit fascist and then Antifa. Once again, the Antifa sign, the Antifa insignia painted once again. It's here. Don't you type that. Don't you type that in my chat. It's anarchy sign. That's not true. This is the Antifa sign. We all know this is the Antifa sign. Okay, this is painted eat shit fascist. Okay, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful out there. Is this one fake too? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Well, all I know is that a lot of these people are just simply pretending to be oppressed because there is no possible way that they could prove that they actually are. They're the ones doing the oppressing. But hey, listen, it always feels fun to be the underdog, doesn't it? It always feels fun to be It's always fun to cosplay as somebody who has problems when you don't have any yourself. So you have to make up some. Hate to see it. I gotta say, Halloween just came, but but cosplaying as oppressed is not the best Halloween costume that you could make. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo. There you go.